Hello internet, and today we got content regarding Black Swan. Now she actually just got a buff, and you know, with Sparkle being free, a lot of people may have forgotten Black Swan even existed, but she's actually on the buff list, guys. Give her some credit. So her buffs are actually pretty big. These are a lot of fluff, but I'll show you a couple of that is really important. First of all, on the alt, this basically means it's easier to get even more Arcana stacks, and the talent is even more fluff. Holy crud. But honestly, the more important part here is Arcana can now exceed the stack limit. Before it was 50. Now it can actually exceed it a lot. That just means way more damage output. Black Swan now straight up has 65% chance to inflict 5 stacks of Arcana just by attacking. That is a lot of Arcana. And the next one's also one of the big ones. It's 100% chance to inflict the defense reduction from the skill just by using her basic or ultimate. That means yes, Black Swan can now finally be a skill point generator if you wanted her to be. This is one of the biggest changes, and I'm really happy to see this, because before it's such an annoying point where she needs to use her skill to have the death shred, and sometimes just run out of skill points. Now we don't even have to spend to get the defense shred anymore. And finally, we got this. This is a similar effect as Kafka, where if you reach 120% of hit rate on Black Swan, you get 72% maximum damage increase for all allies. This makes her a much better damage dealer for DoT and just a good support for DoT too. Now there are some details with this, but these are so much text that maybe you don't bother reading it all. Now what you have to know about going above 50 stacks though is the excess stacks will be removed after dealing damage. But what you also have to take into account is this. Before pre-buff, Arcana will reset to 1 stack after it deals damage as the enemy takes their turn. But now the number of Arcana stacks is only half. So yes, guys, you don't have to reset Arcana anymore. And if your alt is the same thing, it won't be half. But before, it's like either you have the alt on or you go back to like 0 or 1 stack of Arcana. That is really bad. A quick disclaimer, everything is here from the Creator Experience server. But with all that said, here's the stats of a Black Swan, and here's the relic situation looking like. Some really normal looking Black Swan. I'm not sure with the post buff. You may want to actually swap out her build, but for now, I'll just do the same one that most people have. In my personal opinion though, you could just make her very much faster now in order to maximize the amount of time she gets her ult. But you know what? This team will suffice for now. Ladies and gentlemen, the DoT team. Probably one of the best DoT teams right now. We got Kafka, hysilens, Black Swan, and Healer. I'm using an SP positive one because I think maybe I want to use some skill points on Black Swan, but we'll see. If the skill point situation is really good, maybe we could just have Ho-Ho and Sylph without skill point to go around. Just real quick before we actually go in. With the all-new version 4.0 finally approaching. Maybe you're out of resources or you're panicking about pulling new characters now. Here's where I'd like to introduce to you a website that I use for top-ups, which is Aniba. Aniba offers the best top-up services, and it's worth every bang for your buck. The best part is Aniba complies with all of Hoyoverse's guidelines with top-up services, so it's certainly trustworthy, and as usual, I myself has used it, had 0 issues with it. You can top up for yourself or for your friends, because all you need to do is click the first link in the description, choose the item that you would like to top up, enter your server, and then your UID, complete the payment, and voila, you see your resources in a designated account. No login needed. What's interesting is that there's a 10% cashback on what you're purchasing, or you can claim by going into your orders after purchasing, click on claim, and you'll see the cashback in your Aniba wallet. This cashback can be used for any other purchases in the Aniba website and can top up for Spiral even more. Or heck, pick up a gift or two. It's simple, it's a good deal, and most importantly, it's trustworthy. Check Aniba out and you'll support me as a creator too if you do give it a go. As usual though, no pressure at all. And with that said, let's get back into the video. Oh, yep, we will destroy this guy. I'll see you in like 2 minutes.
A few moments later.
And here we go. We're fighting the first genius. Well, this guy's about to have his day ruined because I'm the genius in the room. Well, I'm just the guy playing the game, so I'm kind of dumb. In any case, let's just start by doing all the shenanigans. Get the ult in. These are normal things. And with due time, we will have a turn with Black Swan. And that's the first time where we get to check out the post-buff effects. And honestly, it would be low-key at the start because, you know, the Arcana stack's still kind of mild. Only 21 stacks here. But the moment Kafka starts using skills, we're gonna apply more Arcana stack, way more. Look at it jump. And now we use our alt, you're gonna check out the Arcana stack going to 49, almost 50, right? Usually it stops at 50 and that's the amount of damage. That's all she can do. It's capped. But now that it goes over, we can actually go from 49 to 57 to 63 there, and it gets half after that. And the damage output, look at that. The guy just lost half of his health and we only did 1 Kafka ult basically. That would usually not be doable, so this is a big deal. All right, now guys, so we're gonna use that ult to also trigger more dots. Therein lies more Arcana stacks thanks to Black Swan. So 44 on the guy. That guy's dead, I think, straight up. And now we got Black Swan. Usually you have to use your skill to get Death Shred. Now there is a choice. You can actually just use a Q. Since this guy's about to die, I might just use the Q, you know. But for the sake of safety, I'm gonna use the skill. Make sure it goes on both of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now I can also just land my Death Shred using the ult, but I'll actually save the ult because I don't have to use it, I don't think. I'm being pretty greedy here, but you know, we're just trying to min-max. So the fishies come in and they're gonna attack us. We are totally okay with this. The little mobs spawning in also help me spread the dot on like the elite, so that's pretty nice. And now we got hysilens. I think we want to focus a little bit on the guy on the right. I'm not sure if he's gonna die. Let's just make sure he does. Here we do have a Kafka. It's the last turn of Kafka. I'm not sure if I can kill them all, you know. I'm gonna go for this fish right here and see. If I really can't kill them all, I'm just gonna use the ult of Black Swan. Should be no biggie. Here I do have kind of I don't know, man. This is such a waste. I would prefer Kafka to go on the right elite, but I don't think I have a choice. I'm gonna go for the skill here. Whoever hits gets it, man. Whatever. Okay, you hit this guy, which is the second most preferred target for me. That's actually okay. So now everyone explodes. Aha actually goes to the instant there, and then the guy just dies because of all those Arcana stacks. So that's basically the whole deal. On Post Buff Black Swan, you've pretty much seen most of it, but I have not used my ult yet, which the ult is also pretty nice. But a lot of the main mechanic revolves around getting higher than 50 stacks of Arcana and it actually having rather than a reset. So we can get up to 50 again in no time. But yeah, now we're gonna focus more on the ult and the ability to save the skill point. We're gonna use this right now and then have the boss take a turn fully. So he's gonna take a turn here. We're gonna wait real quick. He's gonna take this action and then I'm gonna use my ult right here. By doing so, we should have the epiphany on this boss for 2 turns, and epiphany, much like pre-buff, would cause the Arcana to not be halved for 2 turns, I'm pretty sure. Yep, right there. And not to mention, for your 1 stack of Arcana inflicted, there's an extra 50% chance now to additionally increase the number of Arcana by 1. That just means you have like double Arcana infliction. It's really good. And yeah, overall, along with the fact that she can just inflict 5 by just using a basic, like if you just get attacked, you get 5. Well, there's a chance you get 5. And you also get a really high 72% damage increase from Candle Flame's Portent. It makes Kafka go crazy with all those damage boosts, man. So we're gonna continue now. Let's get that Arcana stacks up. I would love to see 99 stacks of Arcana, although just on a need to get it to 99, considering how easy it is to just get it up these days. I'm going to use a skill point here because I can, and I no longer need to spend it using Kafka, right? Because check this out. Kafka can now apply the Death Shred on just a basic. Bang, that's reduction right there, if you saw that. Plus, we also landed 5 extra Arcana, so we're at 58 right now. Insane amounts of Arcana. And now we just wait for this boss to take a turn. 58 stacks of Arcana, dealing 400k dot damage easily, and 60 stacks right now because we have Epiphany. So it doesn't get halved at all. We can continue to stack it up. We might get to 99. We're gonna go ahead and dump in the whale there. Did like 600k there, which is awesome. And now we got, I guess we'll use a skill because we could, but I'm not sure. Can I use my skill here? I think I can. I'm gonna go for it. Get the vulnerability up as well. Now they're gonna spawn their little mobs and they're gonna have their Arcana now. Unfortunately, I cannot stop this anymore. I don't think. Can I? I do still have Epiphany here. We'll see, right? So damage going in. We're still alive. And okay, Epiphany's gone, but Arcana has not halved yet, I don't think. So I can just put it back on you because you gave me the ult. I'm going to go in and do that. What, are you kidding me, dude? So bam, Epiphany's up again. We have 64 Arcana now. Over 50 is really... I'm still not used to seeing over 50. Usually it just stops at 50. So now we got Black Swan again. Going with a simple Q, we put on the permanent defense reduction. She became so good with that extra bit of consistency, dude. 72 Arcana now. That is not something you see every day. 74 now. And Kafka getting a turn here should mean... Come on now, give me the turn. Release my inner desire. I want to see the numbers go up. Go for the E, 75 top. Oh, crud. Why did it go down? I'm actually confused. Why did it go down? Does it just go down if it hit 99 or something? Oh, the excess stacks removed after dealing damage. Is that right? I'm still a little bit confused though, because sometimes I feel like it doesn't disappear. Because right now, 59, it will just go up, right? Does it go down? It goes to 61, dude. So it doesn't go down, but I did deal damage through Arcana though, didn't I? Because, you know, technically I triggered it with Kafka's ult. Well, regardless though, we are dealing with this boss fairly nicely. We'll just continue on. Now, there is some question you can maybe ask about this team. Is this team better now with Post Buff Black Swan, or would it just be better to have Cyrene instead of Black Swan still? Now, a direct comparison I'm never going to be sure about, but I definitely do know that, well, I'm not using Cyrene for a DoT team. I'm using her for a lot of other teams. Well, that's me personally, but if you're like the 0.1% people were like, yo, I'm going to pull Cyrene just for the Kafka team, you know, with hysilens, obviously. I don't think anyone does that, so yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a rare scenario, but now, if you don't have Cyrene for the DoT team, Black Swan definitely works out, dude. It works perfectly. It increases everything, like the odds of you doing more damage, the ability of you keeping your debuffs up, the Death Shred especially. Everything's up, and you can actually generate skill point now with her if you choose to. All of it is awesome, dude. Look at that, 600k damage on a single target with all of those debuffs, with all of those Arcana stack. It's so much more consistent now. You don't have to go start from 0. 500k for that one trigger of Kafka, dude. And now we're gonna go use a Q. We have our Epiphany again, so let's go and do that. 500k again from triggering all those Arcana and DoT. We're gonna get on Epiphany now. 66 stacks. I'm pretty sure now that I have Epiphany, he wouldn't reset. I think that should be how it works. I feel like this isn't even something that changes change with the buff. So I'm not sure why I'm being confused about this. All right, he'll take one turn here, 79, 81 Arcana, but then it reset there. Did you see that? And I'm gonna say it again. I feel like this is something that isn't even added after the buff. I'm just clueless probably. But the point is, man, there's a lot of Arcana stacks anyway. 61. We're easily going on like on average above 60. So yeah, right now we got 69. Dealing 700k damage there into the ultimate here, 700k again. On like a 3-target scenario, that's pretty nice. And on a single target one, we did see like 500k damage earlier. So yep, 560 right there. So it is really, really solid for the DoT team to be performing this way. Usually they don't. Usually they definitely struggle if the boss is in the nature of like just, you know, them soloing. Right now, this guy, he's more like if you could kill the mobs, but it's not like they explode or anything. So the DoT team definitely prefers it if you're fighting like those truce things where if the mob's exploding, it applies vulnerability on the boss. But this one doesn't really work that way. So given that there's so much HP on the boss, this is cleaving their HP down really quickly. Look at our skill point. I've never known I could see the day where I would use a DoT team and be like, yo, we've got a lot of skill points. Or at least we're not stressing about it. We are having a healthy amount. We're not wasting any of them. And we're not compensating for skill points where we're using, you know, not using the skill of Black Swan, not using the Death Break, right? Now Black Swan just has to touch them within the ult or with the basic. They get the Death Shred anyway. So I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the Black Swan buff that made this team so much more consistent. And with the final 1.2 million ult, ladies and gentlemen, the new meta DoT team. We cleared it in 2 cycles, which is acceptable. That is what a strong team should do. And considering this team has mostly older characters, right? We got Kafka and we got the newly buffed out Black Swan. These 2 are older characters. The healer is not really too relevant. We didn't really do too much with Hysilens in there. The fact that we have so much skill points probably meant Ho would have been better. And of course, we do have the hysilens carrying the whole thing as well, being one of the newer characters, which is fair enough. So this is like more of like a mix of a recent and old teams. And to combine all of them together, we have a really decent performance. I would rank it as top tier. You know, the performance, right? 2 turn clear without any gimmick or any insane extreme setup. 2 turns is probably just a good team. A top tier team would do that. A really, really good team clears it in 1 cycle without any ridiculous setups or extreme setups. And those are usually like the main focus, the main team. The pure remembrance team or like the recent Elation Sparksy team, they clear in 1 cycle. But you know, having a 2 cycle one for a post buff character, helping out an older archetype of DoT, I think that's really fair. And I think DoT is most certainly valid now to be a really consistent second team. Not that they weren't before, but now even better. Yeah, I love that they're looking at older characters and buffing them, making them like follow along the meta. This is great. I just wish they do more of it. Yeah, they should do it for anyone that's like just dropping behind. I'm mainly talking about Sela here. There are also a lot of others like maybe in Bobby Lone. I don't mind seeing him being buffed. Like a buff of this caliber that just turns Black Swan all the more better, making everything better, damage better, consistency better, quality of life better. We don't have to stress that much about skills anymore and skill points. We are going to land our Death Shred, which is a basic or alt. That is so good. Yeah, just look at all the damage shoot way up with the Arcana going over the limit. It's just awesome, dude. So yep, that is my coverage of the new DoT team. I think they're absolutely fire, and I can't wait to use them on my own account. We'll be posting a lot more of these showcases and interesting stuff on Star Rail. Do follow along if you're interested in everything about Star Rail. That'll be it for now. Take care.